But like
No,
there
there
are
is,
situations where
yeah.
you almost have to think like, let's say rice. Again, you could easily go and buy yourself a rice cooker and get yourself a big kilo or two's worth of rice. What you do. But like if you were to buy like individual packet of like jasmine rice, that's going to be way more expensive than just going and buying something that's easier carb source, you know, like a bowl of cereal and
You've
stuff
got
like
to
that.
put yourself in other people's shoes at times.
Yeah.
Like, I've said the story a few times. Like I used to go into Morrison's when I was at uni, and I'd have £20 on my calculator, and I'd minus it all the way until I had nothing left. So it was like, right, I've got £20 a week to spend on food. Yeah. And like I used to go in, I used to love it. I used to be like, this is exciting. Like I used to enjoy doing it. Like, I remember I've said on the podcast before, like when I was learning about nutrition and stuff, like I used to work out like what's going to be the best protein source for the cost per 30
what
grams.
What do you reckon is the
like,
worst? Let's have a what's the worst carb source relative to bodybuilding financially?
Really broke the side.
And like carbs, fats, like let's say, so if we're thinking financial and we've got to weigh up the pros, like dark chocolate's expensive. Yeah. But then at the same time, the pros of dark chocolate, you'd probably say,
tasteless.
Yeah, you'd want dark chocolate.
So when I was working it out, eggs were very, very good. In terms of cost, in terms of protein and fats.
Nutrient density.
Good quality
good
protein.
Quality. Because you're looking at the quality as well.
Yeah. So eggs were one of the main things. Oats were really good because you get protein, carbs, and fats and fibre. Yeah. And they're quite, what's the word?
Satiety-wise?
No, but you can use them in different ways. I can't think of the word I'm thinking of. So you can have them as oats.
Flexibility.
Or you can have it as a smoothie. Like that's what I used to do. So oats were really good. What else did I used to get as like a staple? To be fair, back then I did used to cook rice, but I used to cook it in a pan, and it was a ball ache. Like thinking back, why didn't I just get a rice cooker? It would have saved me so much time. I used to stand like with the pan.
Yogurt?
Yeah, yogurt.
I'd say like
big, but again, like yogurt, it depends because like that fage or faye. Yeah. That's expensive.
Yeah,
but
no.
Like,
I'd say like actual legit Greek yogurt with some like good quality fats.
But even like the zero, like if you get like the Tesco homemade and stuff, like they're pretty cheap and they're pretty good in terms of protein and carbs and low fat. Fruit juice, like relatively cheap fruit juice for easy carbs. Yeah. Peanut butter, cheap peanut butter I used to get for fats all the time.
I mean, whey used to be pretty cheap.
Yeah,
relative,
not really
it's not anymore, no. Like whey used to be
unless
pretty
you
cheap.
use Fin 15 on CMP.
Oh, Reese Fit 10 on CSN.
Yeah, then it's really cheap. I can't remember what else I used to get, but I remember I wrote a list down and I did this, and I remember tuna, and tuna was awful. Yeah. So I remember thinking like, oh, tuna, I like tuna. Let's have that. But then like even cheap tuna is like something like 70p a tin. Yeah. And a tin's like 20 grams. So I'd get 2 tins for one meal. So that's £1.40 for the protein within a meal. Whereas like if you get a packet of chicken breast, like it worked out cheaper.
I remember I had in my lunch when I was like doing my GCSEs, I'd have sultanas. There's my carb source.
Yeah, that's good.
And then post workout, I'd have a scoop of whey, and I'd have like 3 tins of like pineapple. And you could get like at Morrison's, I could get like I think.
I'd be on the floor, mate. I'd be on the floor, lying cold on the floor.
The pineapple. No, but the pineapple, there was deals, so you could get a lot, and for like the amount of pineapple you get relative to carbs, relative to like the deals you get like a few tins for X amount. I remember thinking to myself, yeah, that's a good option. So it was like whey. I used to have like sultanas and whey, and then it was whey.
Was it my protein?
Bulk powders. Used to shit myself like multiple times.
I used to have my protein. I used to like.
I never had my protein.
Mate, I used to hate it.
I never had my. I always thought my protein stuff was just.
I bought like a 5 kilo pack of cinnamon Danish, and it was awful. And I literally the amount of times that I was like being sick drinking it.
What about Clearway with Jamie Smith?
I've never had that.
Yeah, it's Jamie Smith, bless him. What a legend! What a legend!
But yeah, I'm trying to think of other things. Like I'm pretty sure like. Back in the day, I used to have almonds a lot. They weren't cheap, but like you could get a packet like that for like £2, and it'd last you a little while. Yeah. And I used to just have. I remember I used to just have meals of just like chicken and salad. Yeah. Like I'd just buy I say salad. It was just lettuce. I'd buy a lettuce, so chicken and iceberg lettuce. Yeah. Like that was a meal.
Like whole lettuce.
No, like I'd tear it up and put it in a Tupperware. Yeah. Yeah. Oats. I remember, do you remember? You won't remember really, but it keeps coming up on my stories now. Because you know when I go on like, on this day, it's like 5 years ago, I used to have Cocoa Pops and melted peanut butter on top. No. It was incredible, and it keeps coming up on my stories, and I keep thinking, oh, fucking hell, I want to have that again.
Yeah, I hate like anything.
So I keep doing it and cheating on my diet.
Yeah, I've never ate peanut butter. Like, yeah, I think anything nut-wise is
To be
awful.
fair, last few times I've had it, like when I've tried to reintroduce it to my diet, this is probably like maybe a year ago. Yeah. My stomach's never felt great, so I've just kept it out.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of peanut butter or anything like that. So yeah, I'm trying to think. So let's actually answer you didn't really say.
Eggs.
No, the worst. Like what are bodybuilding foods that people like they say they need it, and in reality it's like cost efficiency, not the best, bro. Anything that like we can highlight that we like people eat consistently.
Salmon's expensive. You don't need it. You could maybe get omega-3s and
you could say red meat, relatively well. Stuff like that.
Yeah, it depends what you get. Though. You can get some really cheap shit red meat.
Yeah, exactly.
20% fat, like mince is really cheap.
Yeah,
I don't really think there's not anything that's like cream of rice isn't actually bad from a financial perspective. It's what like
people say. The amount of times I'll have someone go £20 for cream of rice, but it lasts a set.
It will last you a decent amount of time. If let's say you get a 2 kilo bag. Let's say you have 100 grams per meal. That lasts you 20 meals. Which let's say you just have it on training days. That's a month.
Yeah.
So that's your post-workout meal for a month for £20.
Yeah.
Like people get meal deals every day. You spend £20 in a week getting meal deals.
Yeah.
£21 if you get them every day.
Yeah.
£3.
Yeah.
I bet they're more than that now.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I had a client in the check-in telling me that they got a meal deal, and I was like, we were just chatting about it. But every time I went to say meal deal, I said meal plan, and I said so mate, if you want to get a meal plan, it's fine. And then I kept saying it. I was like, mate, you can tell that I just never have meal deals or even converse about meal deals because I just kept saying meal plan.
I honestly wouldn't. If you'd say to me, "What's a meal deal?" I'd be like, I honestly don't know. Like, is it a bag of crisps, a sandwich, and a drink?
You do know.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Yeah. So when back in the day, I'd get them now and again when I worked at Next. So I'd get off the bus in Doncaster. For people that know, I'd get off the bus at the Dome. And I'd walk to Asda. Then I'd walk from Asda to Lakeside, which is the next where I worked. But I'd go to Asda and I'd get my food for I'd usually have 1 or 2 meals with me, and I'd go and get one meal.
Yeah.
So I'd get a drink. I think, and to be fair, sometimes I got a Greggs actually, because Greggs did a meal deal on the actual complex where I worked. If I went to Greggs, it was I think I'd get a Lucozade.
Okay.
I'd get usually either the pasta, like chicken pasta, or I'd get
that's like 28 grams of fat.
Or no, it wasn't too bad to be fair. I think it was like 14 or 15. Or I'd get the ham and cheese panini, which was nice. Like it was like a long,
had 25
long
grams of fat.
Yeah.
Those sandwiches from those meal deals, the sandwiches are horrendous fat wise. I remember when I was like 18, I was like, oh yeah, chicken like and something sandwich.
Yeah, some of them are alright. You can get some that are okay.
I picked it up and it was like 23 grams of fat.
Most of them are. Yeah.
Per like 35 carb, and I'm like, how like the hell is that? I bet
you got like
thing?
A chicken stuffing one.
I don't even know. I just remember thinking to myself, like, oh yeah, chicken sandwich, that'll be cool. That'll be a bit of carbs. All day breakfast. Yeah, a little bit of protein in there from the chicken, and then it'll have like probably 8 to 10 fat, just because obviously like the dressing or the mayo.
It's always a lot more than you think.
And I was like, that is absolutely disgraceful.
But that being said, they're not that bad. You could easily get like a packet of Fridge Raiders. They're just like chicken bites. They're I don't know what they are macros wise, but I know they're not that high in fat. They're not low. Or you could get two boiled eggs. Like that's another snack. I'm thinking about the snacks. I'm thinking about protein snacks. You can get sometimes protein bars are with them as well.
Yeah.
So like you can get, let's say, 20 grams of protein from the snack. You then get the main. Let's say you could get another 20, 30 grams of protein. You're probably on maybe 15, 20 grams of fat by now, even if you make good choices. You might be on about 80 grams of carbs, something like that. And then you get a drink. Like it's not actually that bad of a meal.
Not just go and get like one of those YouFit horrendous 50 gram worth of protein, and then just go get some rice cakes and be like, or some square bars,
or some fruit.
Yeah, or some fruit.
Yeah, you could. But I'm saying yogurt. If you wanted to get a meal plan, nearly said, if you wanted to get a meal deal, and if it was like, let's say you had to do it every day when you're at work, Monday to Friday, you had to get a meal deal.
Yeah.
You could easily fit that into targets.
Yeah.
Easily. You could easily stay within like 30 grams of fat in a meal deal, probably get about 50 protein and be about 50 to 100 carbs, depending on like your phase.
If we wanted to like rinse the algorithm for content, we could do like
best meal deals.
10-minute Tesco challenge macro edition, and it's like we go in X amount of money. We've
both got, mate. We should do when we're both like I'm gonna say like off season, but when would we have time to do that?
We wouldn't have time, and it's like it's cringy, bottom of the barrel content. But the thing is, people would watch it and go, "It's a good idea."
I actually think it helps people though. Yeah. I do think it helps.
Because the amount of times you'll hear somebody go, "Oh mate, I forgot my meal at home."
So I fucked the whole day up.
So the whole day's horrendous. Yeah, it's like,
and then the whole week I felt bad, so I didn't track. And it's like, what? Like that makes no sense. Right.